welcome to Hearts of Stars. I'm
You.
super duper excited to have you here. The very first question I have for you is how I become an honorary King's sister, specifically because what you guys throw out on Instagram. I mean, yes, you went to Fashion Week and that's very exciting. However, whatever crafts you were doing, I want to be a part of this situation. Everything from bag charms to, I mean, like, you guys have so much
We-
fun.
We're a crafty bunch. We do love crafts. Yeah, my mother instilled that in us very young. We were a craft family. This was before tablets, so when we would be at auditions, my mom would bust out the bag full of arts and crafts at auditions. She was like, "You got to play and you got to be quiet." So yes, we just found a love for crafts and shrinky dinks. And my older sister is like so organized and is the best party planner ever. And we had a craft day for her birthday and we made bag charms and keychains with shrinky dink paper, and it was so much fun. But you can be a king sister anytime. We will
Yes.
gladly accept you.
That was my first question because I didn't want to run out of time to ask you or forget to ask you that question.
You're in.
So I love it. I don't have any sisters. I have a brother who's 13 years younger than I am. But yeah, I mean, no sisters.
Yes,
So
you're any sister. Come hang out with us. We like to craft. We like to watch Love Island. You're in. We like
I'm
to
so
eat
excited. And I'm
lots.
good with just the low key stuff. I don't have to go to Fashion Week. I don't have to go to any award shows. Like I'm totally fine, like shrinky dinks and
Those are our favorites,
I mean,
honestly.
seriously.
Fashion Week
Oh
is
my
fun, but nothing
I
beats a
love it.
shrinky dink night.
I mean, seriously. I love it. I love it. So let's talk about Holiday Touchdown. I have to touch on it just because it was the number one watched Hallmark movie. It was like the number one watched cable movie. Um does that surprise you?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard question. I mean, I guess you never really know, the level of success that a movie is gonna be when you make it. You hope, but at the same time, the script was so amazing. Julie Sherman Wolfe wrote such a great script and put her heart and soul into it. And I mean, when I read it, I laughed, I cried multiple times, and then you just see the cast. And I mean, our amazing crew, and John Putch was such an amazing director. But I mean, Ed Begley Jr., you put Ed Begley Jr. in anything and you know it's going to be a hit. I mean, at the table read, I just was bawling. All of us were bawling. And so the cast was so incredible. And between the cast and the crew, I feel like it was just such a magical experience that everyone's like, this is gonna be big. Like it felt like that when we were on set. And you have Donna Kelsey coming in and Chiefs players coming in. So it felt like it was gonna be big. And we hoped it would be. We hoped people would love it as much as we loved making it. And so it was just so rewarding to hear the feedback that people really did love watching it because we absolutely loved making it. I feel like those people are my family now.
Yeah. And that you could see that. I mean, that jumped off the screen. And it was so good that they're doing another one this year.
I
Yeah. And now the Buffalo Bills. I mean, who would have thought?
I'm
So,
so excited to watch that. You have no idea. It's already like I'm like ready. I like in my
yeah.
couch.
I know. I want to know like the story. Do you know if Julie's writing that one too?
I
I
don't
would
know. I haven't asked her yet, but I don't know. I
I
don't want to
have
say
her
I would assume
number. I
so.
might send her a text.
Should we do
Um
like a group text with her right now?
yeah, I mean I have her number.
We're all
You know why
laugh.
I have her number? Because I was on the cruise, the same cruise that you were on. I was the one who came in at the end. Do you remember during your photo ops? I was like one of the very last ones, and I had you all say hi to Ruby
Yes,
Monroe. Yeah, that
yes,
was
of
me.
course. Oh my
Yes,
god.
but
Did you
anywho,
see
she
you were
wanted
there?
to know. She saw some footage that I had posted online of her reading like the script that she created while she was on the ship, and all of you guys acted out. So she's like, "Can you send me that video?" I'm like, "I can't email it. It's not email." I'm like, "I need your phone number." So I ended up with her phone number in a roundabout way. Yeah. So
Reach
my
out.
totally. She's lovely. She's so lovely. Yes, I've met her a few times and she's fantastic. So talking about these Hallmark events, I remember when I went to my first one in West Palm Beach, and it was the very first time that I was meeting a lot of the talent from Hallmark movies. And at that point, I had actually never watched a Tyler Hines movie. I wasn't really familiar with who he was.
Okay.
And when I went to this event, I was like, who
It's
is
crazy.
here? Like, who is here?
Brad
And they're
Pitt.
like, "That's Tyler." Yeah, I know, right? Like, is it Brad Pitt? Tom Cruise? Like, what's happening? and they were like handing out post-it notes with numbers to like come back because he just didn't have enough time, but he wanted to see everybody. And I'm just like, I need to watch one of his movies, I guess. So my question for you is, have you been to like, was the cruise the first time that you like encountered Hallmark fans? Okay.
Like that. Yes, that was, like, the first Hallmark event I had done, and, I mean, that was wild. It was crazy. I
Bonkers, right?
was wild. Tyler has so many fans, and I also like, he's so deserving of it too. He's so talented.
100%. Yeah.
And I mean, watching him is one thing, like, I adore watching his movies, he's so good at what he does, and then getting to experience it across from him, like, he's just a very giving actor, and he just makes scenes with him just feel effortless, and he's such a collaborator, and is like, "Let's go over this. What are your thoughts? I think this. Like, what do you think about that?" Like, it just feels like a very collaborative experience, and then also, like, he's just really truly one of the nicest people, and he treats his fans with so much love and respect, like, that they become your friends because they're his fans, like, you're
Right.
a fan of him, and, like, you literally feel like you become friends and family with all of them. It's such, like, a tight-knit community, but there's so many of them, and, he's just such a humble person, just seeing the time and effort that he gives to every single one. He connects with everyone
Yeah.
so much and so deeply that I'm like, "I get it. I'm a Heiny." Like, I got the
Oh,
bracelet, I
I
got the
love it.
boots
Oh, you
on.
have the bracelet. Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah. Yeah. My fiancé has the bracelet, like, we got the boot shots, like, we are in. We're locked in.
I love it. You're part of the club. That's
Part of the club.
cool. So cute. I love that so much. That's so good. Let's also talk about this neighborhood spinoff that is happening. I'm really excited about this. And mostly, I really loved your reaction on Instagram. I'm crying, screaming, and throwing up. I feel like that is just like nobody would ever type that, but that's what everyone, that's how I feel like I would be. Like if I got some like big, like dream, like kind of role to play with this like amazing cast.
Feelings
What
all at
was
once.
that like getting that call? Like, because I know you're going to be in the season finale of The Neighborhood, and that's on May 5th. So they're going to kind of like introduce your characters. And then, of course, the spinoff, if picked up or whatever, will go forward with the four of you. What's that like? I mean, I love the way you described it, the crying, screaming, throwing up. I'm sure that's truly like kind of what you were feeling.
Luckily, I didn't throw up, that is my biggest phobias in life, so luckily I didn't do
Oh, me
that.
too. Me
Good.
too.
There's not that many of us, so this is nice to connect.
Well, let me just say I've been dealing with things recently with that. So,
Well,
yeah,
we'll
like it
discuss.
is we'll discuss that without
Yes.
it being recorded. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So anyway, moving on. Yes, you didn't throw up. Good. Okay. Crying and screaming.
Crying and screaming, all of those things. I was so excited. I am such a fan of the show. I mean, Cedric is just so talented and so funny and also just such a lovely person and so involved in the show, which was so nice to see. But truly just like all the feels. I love working on comedies. I love working with Hallmark and making rom-coms and just now getting to do like another version of that, just like network comedy. Like it just is it's so much fun. Network sitcom. It's so exciting. It was so much fun. And I've never done a multicam before. So it was like a little bit scary. It was like all
Yeah.
the nerves and butterflies, but everyone could not have been more supportive and just more lovely and was helping my anxiety of being like, everything's fine. We get however many takes we need. It's okay. But it was so much fun. Truly felt like all the feels. And I've worked with the producer Aaron Kaplan before on Life in Pieces. So that was so much fun to have like a little reunion with him. And Angelique Cabral is going to be in the spinoff, and she was in that episode as well. And I worked with her on Life in Pieces. So it was like, yeah, a little mini family reunion with them. And then meeting the rest of the cast was just so much fun. Justin Long is truly one of the funniest people
Yeah.
I've ever encountered in my life.
Yeah.
He
He's
can
he's
say one
great. He's great. And your character, Bellamy, right? Is her name
word.
Bellamy? Yeah, so she's a little bit dark. I think it mentioned you're often under the influence of edibles. And you do like what? Like content for a cannabis shop in Southern California. I mean, how was that fun? Like was it fun to like play that person? Is it?
Yes, feeling like a little bit of like a hippie, you
Yeah.
getting the Venice vibes and
Yeah.
just, in touch with my Southern California roots. Wasn't hard to do, but yes, it was so much fun. And just it's fun to play different characters. That's honestly the most fun thing about having the job that we all have is you just get to play so many different people and immerse yourself into what that would be like to be a bit of a stoner living in Venice Beach. And I'm like, that sounds pretty incredible. So
I'm ready to see the wardrobe for that. I think
yes,
that
gosh, it was very fun. It was very Free People esque.
yeah, free people. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's wonderful. That's awesome. All right, before we start talking about the 2 nonprofits that you wanna highlight, really quickly, you're getting married soon, right?
Yes. Okay. So I know I had put on Instagram that we were getting married in 4 months. And oh my gosh, the planning was just crazy. It was getting overwhelming. Then we ran into a few snags with just like families, like events going on and then things with our venue. And so we actually decided to push our wedding now to 2026. So we give
Okay.
ourselves a little more time. We were also trying to work with the schedule as if the pilot gets picked up and what that small window would be when you're not filming. So if you're hiatus, so trying to finagle that and also with
Lot.
my fiance's schedule. So we decided to push it to 2026, early in 2026. So I feel like I can breathe again.
Yeah.
Wedding
Yeah.
planning is fun, but it's also a little bit stressful. So
It's a little bit stressful. I was a wedding planner for a hot minute, when I first moved to South
Really?
Florida. Yeah, I was planning my own and I was like, I really like this. I'm very A-type, organized, but creative. And so it's like, I could be really good at this. And I did it for a while until I got pregnant. And I'm like, I can't stand on my feet for a million hours every weekend. But I
Know
liked it.
how
I mean, it's nice. If you have a bride who's polite, it's fun. I could write a book on some of the stories. And
oh,
not
I can
just brides, but
only
their
imagine.
moms too, or can be a little bit overwhelming.
Yes, that
But
makes
yeah, and
sense.
but you're thinking of getting married out of the country too, right?
Yes, I
Yeah. So
don't know
that's a
what we're
lot.
thinking.
You can't
It's a
just swing
lot.
by the venue to like see what's
No, you can't. You can't, and you're dealing with a little bit of like a language barrier through emails, and it makes it a little bit difficult. Again, so beyond grateful that we're able to do that, and it's going to be so much fun. But yeah, just makes it a little bit more enjoyable to take our time. So
yeah. Are your
we're excited.
sisters excited?
Like, yes, they're so excited. They're like, count us in. We get to go out of the country for a wedding, which I did for both of my sisters' weddings. So now it's like tradition.
That. I love
Yeah, and
that.
then they both got legally married at the same place, so we'll get legally married at the same place. So yeah, it's fun to keep that going.
That's great. All right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the American Cancer Society first. And you wanted to specifically talk about the Road to Recovery program, which I was somewhat familiar with, but got reminded of it when I was doing a little research on it. And it's fantastic. So my first question is, what's your connection to the American Cancer Society and why is that something that you wanted to highlight today?
So my mom growing up, speaking of crafts, my mom, when we were younger, we would sit and we would make bracelets like every weekend. We would make a bunch of bracelets and then we would go in front of grocery stores and we would sell them and all of the profits would go towards the American Cancer Society and we would donate it. We'd do the Relay for Life, which is like basically a walkathon and it's all used to raise money for cancer awareness and cancer research. And so we would do that all growing up. Like that was like our thing every weekend, and then throughout the summer we would do that, and it was so much fun. And then my mom got diagnosed with cancer, and in 12 she got diagnosed with breast cancer. So it was something just very near and dear to my heart, and knowing that we had always made that a priority, and then knowing that she was going through treatment and just knowing that all of the time that we had spent trying to raise awareness and donations for American Cancer Society, now she's getting the benefits of all the cancer research that they had done. And so that has always been very near and dear to my heart. One of my birthdays, I made everybody wake up at 6 a.m. and go to the breast cancer walk. I'm forgetting the
Yeah.
name of it. It's like the breast cancer walk-a-thon. There's a specific name that I'm blanking on right now. And it's always in October in Southern California. And so I made everybody wake up at 6 a.m., went to downtown. We did the 5 mile walk and then we came back and had a cereal party. Very random birthday, but it was lovely and it was
Love that.
amazing.
Yeah.
And we had a very funny name for our team name. We raised money and it was amazing. And then as I've gotten older, I found out about the Road to Recovery program. And it's just something that luckily my mom was in a position to be able to drive herself to cancer treatments or have one of us or a friend drive her to cancer treatments. But there's a lot of people that aren't able to do that and don't have the resources or the support. And so with this program, it's with volunteers and you sign up online and then it matches you with a volunteer with someone that's seeking a ride to and from cancer treatment, and then we pick you up, we drop you off, and then we wait for you, and then we take you back home, which is just, again, knowing that my mom, if she wasn't healthy enough to drive herself or didn't have the resources, if she would have needed someone, like, I would have dropped everything and done it for her, knowing that maybe a stranger would have done that for her, and knowing that I can do that to give back to people that are in need. And then we get these weekly, monthly updates from the Road to Recovery program, and it tells you how many people we've given rides to over a certain amount of time, how many patients, how many rides total. And it's incredible, but it's not quite the number I want it to be because I don't think a lot of people know about it. And so getting this opportunity to talk to you about this and hopefully let people know there is something that you can do, which I think that this is amazing for everybody because there's no time commitment where you have to show up every day on this certain day or weekly between this time and this time. It gets hard to fit that into your schedule, especially with people have busy lives. This is just whenever you know you have a chunk of time or a block of time. It can be once a month, it could be multiple times a week. Just whenever you have free time, you can sign up online and they'll connect you with the patient that's in need and needs help. And then you can put in like how far you're willing to drive them. If it's 20 miles, 50 miles, so it really is something that everybody can do if they have the time and the resources, and it's just a very flexible schedule, which is really lovely.
Yeah, and super easy to sign up. I went on the website and you search by your county and I mean it's very very simple and the commitment level is minimal. I mean, if you felt like just you wanted to do something for somebody else, I mean this is like life-saving. I mean, if you can't make it to your treatment,
Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah.
has all kinds of consequences, right? And
Yeah.
you don't want the added stress of like, oh my gosh, like I can get the treatment, but I can't get there. I mean, people don't sometimes think of that as a barrier, but transportation can be a huge barrier for people. And not just not having a vehicle, but like you mentioned, just being too sick to try
Yeah.
and drive yourself there,
When you drive
because of
yourself.
treatments.
Yeah, Ubers are insanely expensive. Public transportation isn't always the easiest. And so knowing that there's people that have had background checks, so you feel comfortable getting into their car, they've been briefed on how to handle the situation. They have like sanitation kits. So in case someone gets sick in your car, it feels like a little bit more comfortable of an experience knowing that the driver knows what you're going through. So you're not having to worry about someone talking to you if you don't want to talk or if you're feeling sick and you need them to pull over. It just feels like a much easier way. And like you said, to relieve the stress of anybody having to worry about getting themselves to and from treatment if they're too sick to even have to worry about it, or if they don't have family and friends that are close enough to help them out. But yeah, I just really want to raise awareness about this amazing program because again, like you said, it's such minimal commitment. You don't have to commit to certain hours every month, just whenever you have the free time. If you have a car, then you're eligible. You do a quick background check and then you sign up and they make it super simple and easy. They're always there for support if you need to call them. If you have questions, they're there to call, to email with. Yeah, they're amazing. But like you said, you just search by your county. And I have one set up in Los Angeles County. I also split time between LA and Utah with my fiance. So I have one here in Utah and they make it very easy for you.
I love it. I just love that you do this.
Thank
It's
you.
so
Thank you.
cool. I would imagine that you probably build relationships with some of the people that you take to these treatments because sometimes the treatments they can be regulars. I wonder, like, do you find like you're picking up like I wonder if you can like pick up the same person? Like, does it become can you
You
do
can.
that? Or okay.
You can on the site, they make it very, very easy to navigate. You can see who the different patients are, and then once you know if the patient is comfortable with you, you can continue to accept their rides. And I had one patient, she was just like the loveliest lady ever, and I would pick her up about like once a week, and we did that for I think like 2 months or so, and she was just amazing, and we wound up just chatting and telling stories and just hearing all about her life. And yeah, you do form relationships sometimes with these people, and it's just such an amazing experience to get to have to know that you're helping them with literally life-saving treatment getting to and from, and then they're just enriching your lives too. It just puts everything into perspective too, knowing what they're dealing with, and you're like, okay, I had a little bit of like an annoying thing happen this morning, but like, is it really even a big deal? I'm look at what this person's having to go through. So it's again such a lovely thing to be able to do and to connect with so many people and just hearing their stories with people that maybe you wouldn't have met before.
Right. Well, I'm going to sign up. So, and we're going to push this. We will push this out for a while so people do hear about it because I don't think a lot of people know about it. I think everyone knows about the American Cancer Society, but I think these other, and they have a lot of different programs. When you go on there, you can
Yeah.
actually search by the program that you want to volunteer for and then by your zip code and what's available in your area. So there's all kinds of things. But yeah, you have a car and you can get a background check. I mean, why
Yeah.
not? I love
Why
that. I
not,
love it.
right? Even if you just do it once a month or once every other
Yeah.
month, honestly, just anything helps.
Yeah. So let's talk Meals on Wheels America because this one I am familiar with. But why
Yeah.
why highlight this one? What's the draw there, Hunter? What's the connection?
So my grandma is like one of the best people I know in my life. She's an actual earth angel. She's 84 years old. She's 4'8". She is just this tiny little pipsqueak and is just feisty and full of love. And she's always been a big volunteer. She volunteers at the library in her local community. She did Meals on Wheels for, gosh, I want to say like 13 years when we were growing up. And I would go with her. And it was just so nice to be able to see, again, the relationships that she would build with these people, but knowing that, again, sometimes these seniors, they don't have the resources or the ability to go out and go to the grocery store and get themselves meals, or they don't have the support at home to be able to get help to do that. And so knowing that Meals on Wheels provides meals for shut-in seniors, it's an incredible program. And it's more of a commitment. You do it weekly. And my grandma, again, she did it every week for 13 years. And yeah, it was amazing. It was so lovely to see her do that, and it really created a lot of, I don't know, she just taught us, like, the importance of giving back to your community and the effect that you can have on people and how much you can help, even just one person. You're always like, "What can I do?" And it just showed me for 13 years what you can do, like, how many people you can help. And so then when I got old enough and I was like, "You know what? That was actually a really fun experience." I signed up for Meals on Wheels at the same place that my grandma used to do it at, and then sometimes I would have my grandma come with me and deliver Meals on Wheels, and it was just so nice. And again, you form such strong bonds with these seniors. Again, you sit and you hear their stories and they talk to you and they tell you how helpful it is. And just getting to hear everything that they've been through in their lives. And I have such a deep love for my grandma, and so getting to talk to people that are similar to my grandma and hear all of their amazing stories and how they met their husbands or their wives, and it was just so lovely, and I love doing it so much, and then sadly, I had to stop doing that program because I was starting to travel a lot for work, and it just gets more difficult when they're like, "Oh, we need someone that is able to commit, not have someone that's like, I can't come in for 4 weeks. I can't come in for
Right,
6 weeks while I'm filming."
right.
But it was, again, such an amazing experience, and I felt so grateful and blessed to be able to give back and to do that. But just knowing how many people you're providing meals for, that I don't know otherwise maybe how they would be getting their meals. It's a really lovely experience, and you can sign up for, there's a certain amount of time. You can sign up for 6 months. You can sign up for 1 month. You could be a volunteer driver that just subs in for people if you can't fully commit to every single week. So there's a lot of different options, but again, it's a really amazing resource, and just very grateful that my grandma introduced me to it.
I love that you love your grandma. I love my grandma too. She's 86, probably the same
Aw.
height as your grandma. And I'm very, very close to her. I was lucky enough to grow up and know my great grandparents actually fairly well too.
I love
So
that.
I hear you. Like, I hear you. She's got great stories, and we'll dig out pictures, and she'll show me pictures of her and my grandfather from like their prom and stuff, and the hairdos and the dresses and
Yeah.
I mean, it's just fabulous. All of it is just so and then she loves talking about it. Yeah, very lucky that she's still, I mean, she's 100% with it. She has no physical ailments. I mean, she's just so cool. So I'm glad that you have that relationship with yours because it is a very
Same, I love
special
that.
relationship. Yeah. It's
Oh,
a
there's
it's
just truly no one. I mean, my grandma is, like, truly one of my best friends. She's just the life of the party. Anytime I curse, which I curse a lot, I still get scolded to this day at 31. It's just
I love it.
still to this day, even my mother gets scolded. but she's just the funniest person, and she just really did introduce us to volunteering and giving back to your community and the effect it can have. And again, yeah, there's just so many times when you just feel hopeless, especially with everything going on in the world. You're like, I'm one person. What can I simply do? And just knowing that there are things that you can do that do have a really big impact on your community. Yeah, I'm just forever grateful that my grandma introduced me to that.
Oh, that's so special. And yeah, I mean, and if you don't have time for something, you can always make monetary donations to these places. But, I am one who likes to see the impact. I think it's very, I don't know, it's a feel good. It feels good. And, doing the road to recovery and driving patients or delivering meals, I mean, you see the impact that it makes on that other person. And then you realize, yeah, you are only one person, but look at the impact you're making. And it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. And these programs need the volunteers too. A lot, that's they count on people who can, have a little bit of time here or there to do these things and give
Yeah.
back. So I love
And
that.
it
I'm
is
so
so
glad
nice,
that we
like
were
you
able
said.
to highlight those.
Thank you. No, thank you so much. I mean, like you said too, if you're unable to make the commitment, you can always do a donation to them. But I think it's also nice if you're able to sign up, even only once or a few times, just to see where your money is going and what it's going to and how helpful it is to have those resources is really it's a great option if you can't, again, if you can't commit to that, but just seeing where your money goes.
Well, Hunter, thank you so much for coming on Hearts of Stars. It was so nice to talk to you and highlight those two wonderful and amazing charities and to talk a little bit about your life. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about those nonprofits and really just get the word out. And I hope that if anyone's interested, they look into it and they sign up. I promise you will not regret it.